Step inside the world of the housemaid, where luxury meets danger. When Millie Calloway lands her dream job in the Winchester mansion, she quickly discovers a world of wealth and secrets, where nothing is as it seems and everyone has something to hide. Director of The Housemaid, Paul Feig, is here to spill the tea about this new thrilling movie. So, Paul, you got to tell us what drew you to The Housemaid and why was this a story you wanted to tell?
Well, this book that it's based on, that's been on the bestseller list for 2 years, is just so much fun. Freida McFadden, I love her writing, and this book in particular had such a great structure because there's such a giant twist in the middle of it, and then there's a bunch more twists after that. So it's just a really twisty-turny ride that I knew could become a movie that people in a theater together could have a real great group experience with, and they do. I mean, I've sat through so many screenings of this, and people are yelling at the screen and they're laughing and they're screaming and they're hiding their eyes and they're just having a great time. So take your friends and have a really good time.
The characters are so layered and so complex. What was the most important thing in shaping their emotional depth on screen?
Well, these are very complex characters, and what I love is each one of these characters has a lot to hide, and so that's what's really fun is having the cast playing everything so that we throw the audience completely off the scent of what's coming, and so we actually, through their great performances, get you to root for things that you'll find out later on you probably shouldn't have been rooting for, but they're just also close to the bone with the way they play it, but also extreme. I'm a kind of a maximalist, so I always like things to be sort of at an 11. And they're really great at kind of keeping the extremeness of these characters, but at the same time playing them very real where they're believable. And then it really sets up a lot of the twists and turns that happen.
And can you talk about what it was like working with the cast and how they helped bring these characters to life in unexpected ways?
Yeah, well, I mean, this cast, they're so great. I mean, Sydney, I hadn't worked with before, but I'd been a giant fan of hers ever since I saw this movie she did called Reality. I realized what a deep talent she was. And Amanda Seyfried, I had met for coffee like 10 years prior, and we had a great time and wanted to work together. And then Brandon Sklenar had just worked with my friend Blake Lively on It Ends With Us, and she was just raving about him. And when I met him, I felt the same thing. So it's really just kind of making sure that I had the most talented cast and then getting out of their way. They came knowing these characters, knowing what they wanted to do, how they wanted to play them. And I just kind of sit there and enjoy it. And then I can go like, oh, try this, try that. Sometimes like Amanda's character, her character is going through so many levels throughout the movie that it was really fun to kind of say, try this, or just stare at Sydney for too long to really unnerve her, or like, let's make this even crazier. Let's make this not crazy now. And she's just masterful at that. But the whole cast, they really just nailed it.
And you have directed across many genres. What was creatively different for you on The Housemaid compared to some of your past projects?
Well, I mean, The Housemaid is very dark, but I did a movie called A Simple Favor and Another Simple Favor, and those are in the same genre. But I face them all like they're, I won't say comedies, but they have the comedic elements that I want to make sure I can bring out in the moments that aren't going to hurt the genre and aren't going to be negative against some of the heavier themes that are going on. Because there's some very dark things in this movie, and we never make fun of that. What we have the fun is on the release of the tension that you're being put through, and then the fun of some of the payback that happens. But yeah, I always want people interacting and having a good time, even when they're like horrified by things.
And I gotta know, what is one scene you are especially proud of, even if audiences don't realize why at first?
Oh, it's so hard to say because everything is a spoiler if I say what I love. But about halfway through, there's a confrontation between the three main characters that happens on a staircase, and I'm really proud of that because just the cast just really brought it. Everybody, it's a very tense scene, but it's kind of fun because of how tense it is. And I would just at the monitor watching them do it and just was like celebrating, like, this is so good.
Thank you so much, Paul.